Hi, my beautiful loves. It's Charlotte from Perfect Shade Cosmetics. Today I'm going to be doing a basic makeup application tutorial, and this simply means that we are back to basics, teaching you about the corrector, the foundation, and the powder. But before I go into that, I'm going to give you the benefits for our foundations and powders. Our foundation is hypoallergenic, so that means that it is perfect for people that have very sensitive skin. Now, a lot of you have claims that you have sensitive skin. However, the only way to determine that in this time of lockdown is to order the product, test it on a small area, determine if you are allergic to our foundation specifically and not apply it on your entire face. And thereafter, we can establish if you are allergic or not. It is non-comedogenic, meaning that it does not clog your pores. So you can go up to 3 and 4 layers of layering with foundation and powder to get the maximum coverage on certain areas. And this will not give you that tight feeling that you sometimes experience with other brands, because that simply means that it is clogging your pores, which is the #1 cause of acne and breakouts. So rest assured, you're not aging with our products because it is such a revolutionary formula that it actually allows your pores to breathe. And you can, I'm not condoning sleeping with makeup, but definitely you do not have that tight feeling that you experience with other brands. It's not tested on animals. I'm very big on anti-cruelty. So rest assured, this has not been tested on animals and never will be, and nor will PSC ever stop any brand that is being tested on animals, or even lashes for that matter. It is waterproof. It has been tested. It has been tested under extreme conditions, under a waterfall, during a workout. We have lots of reviews. If you need to know about our products and how it lasts, please go to our PSC page, which is the Perfect Shade Cosmetics page, or even my fan page, to see all of the reviews about the foundations and how it has long withstood the test of time, temperature, and whatever other stresses you are going through or trying to test it under. It also lasts 16 hours. So we have tested this where clients actually slept with it, trying to test it out, and actually went for another function the next day, and it lasted. So that I can guarantee it definitely lasts more than 16 hours. If you're using it without priming powder, if you have really oily skin, you follow the steps that I send through to you on WhatsApp on getting the flawless application, as well as using it with the right tools, which is our foundation and powder brushes, and not a beauty blender or a sponge, then we can guarantee that it is going to last you more than 16 hours. Our powders are a micro pearl formula, and simply put, this means that it has all of the aspects and the benefits that I have now mentioned. And not only that, but it settles in your lines and smoothens lines and wrinkles, which is perfect for us in our 40s and above, because previously shimmer products, which is some of our powders do have a slight shimmer, and there's a few codes that don't have shimmer, so you can always WhatsApp me to know which is which. But previously, older and mature skin was not allowed to use anything with shimmer, but this has contradicted and refuted everything in the past, and it is doing exactly the opposite, because you can now use products with shimmer in it, which is some of our powders, which is what I use on a daily basis. And this is not going to accentuate your lines and your wrinkles. In actual fact, it is going to do the opposite. It is going to smoothen those lines and make you look years younger. So I'm going to start off with, I've already just applied my sunblock or daily moisturizer. Now, another thing that I need to tell you is that if you have polycystic ovaries, or if you have any thyroid problems, or any hormonal conditions that is going to increase the production of sebum or oil, I suggest that you buy the mattifying powder, which is 175 Rand. And this is something that goes on as your primer. It is not the silicone-based primer as most other brands have. This is a priming powder. It is your mattifying powder, and it is going to lock in and absorb any oil that is going to be produced by your skin during the entire day. So I suggest you start off with your priming powder first after your sunblock. Please skip on day cream. Your day cream is just adding more moisture to your skin, which should actually be done the night before or while you sleep. So all of your hydration needs to be done while you sleep and not during the day, because this creates a base that is going to be blotchy and overly moisturized, and this is definitely going to cause your makeup to blotch, to move, and to wipe off on your phone, to wipe off on your hands or your clothes or wherever else you are trying to prevent it from wiping off onto, even onto your partner or your husband. So please start off with your mattifying powder first, a liberal amount, leave it on for about 2 minutes and then brush it off. Thereafter, we're going to start off with our corrector. Now, the purpose of our correctors, and our correctors also our foundations in the Miss Rose range of products. The Bronze 3 and the Bronze 4 foundations are the correctors. The Bronze 3 and the Bronze 4 foundations are the correctors. So on your bottle or on your tube, you will see that it is called a foundation, but this is also a corrector because it is a peachy toned foundation that neutralizes dark areas, hyperpigmentation, or any areas that have a bluish undertone or a bluish surface tone, if you want to call it. So more like a bluish surface tone, not undertone, but a surface tone. So we're going to neutralize those areas. Please do not apply this on your entire face if you do not have pigmentation on your entire face, if you do not have blemishes on your entire face. Only apply it to those areas and keep your brushes separate. So keep your corrector brush separate, a concealer brush separate to your foundation brush, because if you're using the same brush, you're going to drag the corrector into your entire face, and this is going to cause your overall effect to darken. So I've decanted my products in here, and now I'm going to apply directly to underneath my eyes, which is where I have slight pigmentation. So over my eyes, underneath, you can see immediately it neutralizes dark areas. I have covered this in previous videos, but I think reinforcement is key to ensure that every client gets this done properly. And we do follow up when you are ordering the foundation powder on WhatsApp. We do follow up with the steps. You can see what it's done. Even though the Bronze 3 corrector is not my shade of foundation, it neutralizes the dark areas immediately and brings it back to your normal skin complexion, that what it should look like without pigmentation. So note, I'm not going on the good skin, just applying it on here. And don't blend it in, just leave it on. Now I'm going to use another brush to apply my foundation. So I'm applying the foundation with the corrector. Now we are getting corrector brushes this week, as well as more foundation brushes, eyeshadow brushes, and brow tattoo brushes. So all of that is coming in this week and should be in stores before the weekend. Okay, so I'm getting the foundation all over. Just apply it untidily, because then we're going to use a foundation brush to blend it in and to get it in. Smaller brushes around the eyes to pat it in, and I'll do that last. I just want to get the product on the face. Remember to go all the way down to the neck, especially if your neck and your face are completely different colors. Often the neck is not directly exposed to the sun, so it's often lighter than the face. But we apply the foundation to match the neck and not the other way around. So if it is darker, with my Indian clients, we always go lighter. Even if your neck is darker and your face is lighter, we always go a shade lighter, unless a client specifically wants to go darker, then by all means we do that. Okay, so that's how we get the foundation on. I like the short one, the short foundation brush. Now we've got these, and we have now marked down the foundation and powder brushes to 50 Rand. So that's our special for the week. Foundation and powder brushes have now been marked down to 50 Rand. Okay, so I'm just spreading it out, spreading the product out into the hairline, long strokes, pat on areas, like go over your eyes, pat on areas that needs extra coverage, like underneath your eyes, but we are still going to reinforce this with another layer of foundation or concealer if you have. We currently don't have concealers in our range because it hasn't been necessary with the way we apply the foundation and layer it. So strategically work on one side of the face and then the other. And this shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes max in the morning together with your powder. Pat, 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 pat on areas that needs extra coverage. What's also really important when you're applying your foundation is that you do it in natural light where there is light on both sides of your face and not where there's a window and there's only light on one side and then the other side is casting shadows. So make sure you have an area that is well lit with light on both sides of your face. Okay, so I've got the foundation on, and now I'm going to apply another layer of foundation that's really close to my lashes. And anywhere else that needs extra coverage, just gonna pat it on with my corrector brush. We've got two sizes. We've got the small and the big corrector brushes. I'm using the smaller one. Take extra care around the mouth, especially if you're going to be doing corrective lip work with your lipstick or your lip liner to make bigger or smaller. So make sure you take away the natural lines. Gonna cover this little beauty spot here. And I've got that covered beautifully. Now I'm going to use my number 8 powder, and what I've done is I've actually added the number 12 mattifying powder into my setting powder. So I'm reinforcing the whole priming product again, so all over again. So just equal amounts of the number 12 powder, which is the priming powder, together with my number 8 powder, which is my setting powder, and then I'm going to start sealing underneath my eyes first. Remember, don't pull faces because the product is so super fine. You don't want to get it into lines to accentuate it, or because it is high definition products, remember any dry area will catch, the powder will catch onto these areas. And if you like really stretching your skin and pulling your eyes and pulling your face when you're applying the powder, it's going to really get into those lines and can look a little bit overdone. So less is more. It is key to the micro pearl formula. You have to use less or else it looks overdone. So that also saves you because we're all working on a budget, especially in lockdown. A lot of people are only getting partial salaries and everybody's working on a budget. So we're trying to save and cut costs at all costs. We're trying to cut costs wherever possible. So I'm just applying the powder. And then I'm going to dip my powder brush Okay, I'm specifically adding number 3 around my mouth because I am going to be completing this with a second part of this look, which is going to be where I'll be using a darker lipstick. And you know that whenever I use a dark lipstick, I always go with a darker powder around my mouth so that it doesn't make any foundation and powder around my mouth look pasty and pale. Okay, so that's my number 8 powder. I'm just brushing over. Remember to dab on powder onto forehead, cheeks, here and around the mouth, and then dip into your powder and brush it away. And keep brushing because it really does spread all over, being so super fine. We just want to get it in there. So I've applied underneath my eyes and not over because I am going to be completing a look, and I'm leaving it unsealed to hold whatever eyeshadow or eye look I'm going for. So the number 3 powder is our version of the banana powder. It's really yellow. It is one of my biggest sellers. It has a very slight shimmer to it as opposed to the number 8 powder. That's the number 8 powder, which has a significant amount of shine in it. So if you're lighter and you want the shine, our number 8, our number 9, and 10 powders have shine. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to define brows. And as you know, we currently have a lot of the brow tattoo in number 2. We also have brow creams in limited shades, more on the gray and the charcoal side and the blonde side. So we do have the brow cream, which is 97 Rand, and that comes with a brow brush. The brow tattoo does not come with an application brush. You have to purchase that separately, and that's 50 Rand. The brow tattoo is 150. So now I'm going to show you how to apply the brow tattoo step by step. If you want really defined brows, then you go for the brow tattoo. If you want really light brows, then go for the brow cream. Okay, so number 2 is a dark brown, perfect for black-haired or dark brown-haired ladies. Okay, remember, always start from a central point. Before I start off, I'm going to be just brushing my brows out with a brow brush. So just brush it out. And I'm going to just define with, starting from the center. Okay, so do the line at the bottom and work your way to the inner corner. That's the line at the bottom of the hair. Okay. And then I'm going to start defining going upwards, giving myself a bit of an arch. So at the point of the arch, just go like a millimeter above the hairline. Note the pointy side is facing the nose, and then I'm going to do the tail end and wait for that to dry, and then I'm going to repeat on the side. And at the same time, I'm keeping an eye on my right-hand side just to see that the level at where it starts is exactly the same place. Flick it upwards on the inner corner. And then I'm going to do the same on the side. Just flick it up so you're defining the beginning of it. Remember, there's still a lot of product on the brush to define, so just use whatever's on there before dipping your brush again to add more product. And remember, this is the area where we want it light. We don't want it too dark. And this is the area where we want it dark. Once I've got my outlines with the brow tattoo, if you're happy with this effect, then you can leave it as is. But I prefer going over with brow powder just to make sure that it is more defined. So any matte black or matte brown eyeshadow, we are currently out of stock of that. Some of our smoky palettes does have black in it, but it just depends if you want to use that or if you currently have something in your range, just to define it a little bit more so that it's not looking patchy. Remember, if you come out of your hairlines or if you make a mistake, you can always conceal it with foundation, which I'm going to do next. Also to cover any hair that's growing underneath your brows, especially in this lockdown. A lot of you cannot make it to your therapists and beauticians, cosmetologists, and for me, my naked cherry next door. So I'm going to conceal it with foundation as soon as I get my shape right. Yes, I do spend a lot of time with my brows, but I love them and I love the overall effect. It just completes the entire look if your brows are defined. I just feel it looks incomplete if it's not defined well and according to the shape that I've taught you how to establish in one of my tutorials. Next, I'm going to use my flat my flat concealer brush to erase where I've colored out of the lines or any uneven, blurry edges. Remember to seal around it wherever you've applied foundation. So just sealing with powder so that it doesn't get oily in these areas and then your brow tattoo will start to move and get blotchy. Next, I'm just going to apply a very subtle eyeshadow and highlighter just to lift the brows. That's number 10 highlighter or setting powder. Just taking away any powder that went onto my brows. Remember, it's always about cleaning up after every step. And that just got on there, so I'm just going to take that out, and some got on here. Next, I'm just going to do mascara and a basic lipstick, and that will be the basic makeup tutorial, teaching you about foundation, corrector, powder, and the importance of it all. This is our Miss Rose mascara. It's currently 150 Rand. If you're ordering the 5.99 special, then this is in your 5.99 special. It is amazing. You can see how it just coats the lashes and lengthens and volumizes lashes that you don't really have. Okay, I'm just using number 6 lip crayon, which is 97 Rand. A subtle blush. And this can just be your stay-at-home lockdown look. Just looking pretty for yourself to boost your self-esteem so that you're not focusing on all of your flaws or your so-called imperfections every time you pass a mirror. You can look flawless in 10 minutes at home while you're cooking. This is our number 9 Swiss chocolate blush. I love it for every day. And then I'm going to show you our lovely lip liners, which are 97 Rand at the moment. I have lots of colors. I have really dark, I have really light, a whole range of lip liners. You can WhatsApp us to see availability. But before I choose my shade, I just wanted to show you all of the lip liners that we have. I think there's 20 colors, if I'm not mistaken. 20 colors. I've just got a few here. But that's the palette. Sorry, not the palette. These are the shades that we currently have, and a little bit more. You can always WhatsApp me to see availability for the entire range. I have a full range of this. So just to give my lips some shape, I'm choosing number 17 lip liner. Which is that. Very similar to the lip crayon that I've used. Super creamy and just glides on amazing. And that was the number 17 lip liner. So ladies, just to recap on the basic makeup products that you would use, or that I would suggest to you on WhatsApp if you need to know your foundation, your powder shade, and any other product that you need to get flawless application. Okay, so we start off with the bronze 3 or the bronze 4 corrector to neutralize dark areas, to neutralize dark blemishes, hyperpigmentation, pigmentation, dark circles, butterfly, birthmarks, or whatever is darker than your natural skin complexion. Your bronze 3 or 4 corrector goes on first to bring these areas back to natural skin complexion so that you get maximum coverage. Without the corrector, simply put, those dark areas will always come through no matter how many layers of foundation and powder you're applying, or even if you are applying concealer from any other brand, which is not recommended. So your corrector does 80 to 90% of your coverage work, and it is a must if you have uneven skin tone. Thereafter, it's your foundation to even out the entire face and to bring your complexion back to what you are blessed or born with. Then you use your setting powder or together with your mattifying powder to give you a lasting finish that's going to last more than 16 hours so that you do not need to touch up during the day. It will not transfer into clothes, phones, hands, your babe, or whoever else, significant other in your life. So if you want flawless application that is going to last for more than 16 hours, then your basic makeup products is a must in every makeup kit. And if you need to know more, WhatsApp me on 079-272-4713. Until the next tutorial, love you lots, ladies. Bye.